Hey Steelers fans! Welcome back to the channel, your go-to for all the latest Steelers news and in-depth analysis. Today, we're diving into a developing story that might make you want to throw a red flag at the Cowboys. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support keeps us bringing you the best Steelers content. Alright, so here's the scoop. As the 2024 NFL trade deadline approached, the Steelers were on the hunt for a game-changing wide receiver, aiming to build on a promising 6-2 start. The need was clear, and Steelers GM Omar Khan was actively working to bring in a playmaker for our offense. But thanks to the Dallas Cowboys and a certain trade with the Carolina Panthers, the Steelers' plans for a big-name receiver might have taken a surprising twist. Let's rewind. As trade rumors heated up, it became obvious that the Steelers were exploring several options at wide receiver. Steelers Nation knew we were aiming high. We had our sights set on receivers like Brandon Ayuk, Davante Adams, and even Adam Thielen from the Panthers. The goal? To find a solid, dependable target that could complement George Pickens, especially in those short to intermediate routes that are crucial for our offense. The team eventually landed Mike Williams from the New York Jets. Now, don't get me wrong, Williams is a solid addition. He's got size, speed, and physicality, all of which make him a great fit as a deep ball threat. But here's the kicker, Williams was clearly a plan B. Our plan A? That was a bigger-bodied slot receiver with polished route-running skills. Someone who could get open in short yardage situations and provide that veteran savvy. Names like Adam Thielen and Cooper Kupp were being tossed around because they fit this mold. Thielen's experience and skill set are exactly what the Steelers were looking for to add versatility to the offense. At 34 years old, he's an accomplished route runner, and despite his age and recent hamstring injury, he still recorded over 100 catches for more than 1,000 yards in 2023 with a rookie quarterback in Carolina. Imagine him running clean routes and being a reliable target underneath for Kenny Pickett, offering that short to intermediate option the team needs to keep defenses honest. But here's where it gets interesting. Rumor has it the Steelers were close to striking a deal with the Panthers for Thielen. However, something unexpected happened that threw a wrench in Khan's plans, and it wasn't the Panthers. Instead, it was another NFC team, the Dallas Cowboys, that disrupted Pittsburgh's shot at Thielen. Earlier in the day, Dallas swooped in and made a surprising trade with Carolina, one that would impact the entire market for wide receivers. Let's break down the Cowboys deal. Dallas acquired Panthers wide receiver Jonathan Mingo in exchange for a 4th-round pick and a 7th-rounder. Now, this may not seem significant at first glance, but here's why it matters for the Steelers. Mingo is in his second year and hasn't exactly put up impressive numbers. He's only managed 539 yards over 24 games and has caught less than 50% of his targets. But here's the kicker, Dallas offered a relatively high price for Mingo, given his performance. What this trade did was set an inflated market price for wide receivers, especially within the Panthers camp. Once Dallas made this deal, it became difficult for the Steelers to negotiate a lower price for Thielen. Carolina wasn't willing to part with a proven veteran like Thielen for less than what they'd just received for a young, unproven talent like Mingo. Essentially, Dallas' trade with the Panthers raised the stakes, leaving Khan in a bind and pushing Thielen out of reach. The clock was ticking, and with Thielen off the table, the Steelers turned to Mike Williams, who became the next best option available. Now, Williams is a reliable big-play guy, no doubt about that. He's physical, he can win those contested catches, and he'll be able to stretch the field. But, here's the thing, Steelers fans, Williams' game is very similar to George Pickens. They're both vertical threats who can make those highlight reel catches, but the skill set we really wanted was that of a savvy slot receiver, someone with the technical ability to create space and keep the chains moving on short yardage downs. Williams fills a need, but he's not the precise fit we were hoping for. Steelers Nation, you have to wonder, if the Cowboys hadn't made that trade, would the Steelers have landed Thielen? It's frustrating, but that's the game when it comes to trade deadlines. There's another aspect of this story that's worth mentioning because it ties into a broader conversation about the Steelers' strategic approach, particularly head coach Mike Tomlin's game management. In high-stakes moments, Steelers fans have noticed that Tomlin's decisions around challenges and timeouts can sometimes backfire. In fact, over his career, Tomlin has won just 44% of his challenges, which isn't ideal. Steelers insider Mike DeFabua recently suggested that Tomlin could benefit from implementing a system similar to that of Pittsburgh's NHL counterpart, the Penguins. Penguins coach Mike Sullivan has a coach specifically designated to handle video reviews, and it's led to a high success rate with challenges. If Tomlin were to adopt a similar approach, it could help reduce those costly errors in crucial moments, like when he challenged a touchdown catch by George Pickens against the Giants, only to lose a timeout because touchdown plays are automatically reviewed. Streamlining the challenge process would not only improve game management but could also help the Steelers capitalize on more scoring opportunities. In a season like this, with Pittsburgh in prime playoff position, every timeout matters, and every challenge needs to be precise. So where does this leave us, Steelers Nation? The Steelers made some solid moves, and Mike Williams is a valuable addition to the roster. But it's fair to say that the Cowboys may have unknowingly disrupted Pittsburgh's plans, leaving us with a what-if question that lingers. What if the Steelers had been able to bring in Thielen instead? Would our offensive game plan be more balanced heading into the season's second half? Here's what's clear: Omar Khan and the Steelers front office are doing everything they can to improve this roster and make a deep playoff run. The addition of Williams might not be exactly what we planned, but he's got the talent to make an impact. And as for Mike Tomlin's game management, well, if he's open to a fresh approach, the Steelers might just find themselves hitting their stride at the perfect time. Let's start with a shout-out to Omar Khan, our general manager, who's been busy since the start of training camp. He made it clear that this season was going to be different. He wasn't just looking to maintain the status quo, he wanted a stronger, more competitive Steelers team that can make a real run in the playoffs. And with these new trades, it's evident that he's not playing around. First, we've got Mike Williams, a wide receiver from the New York Jets. We knew the Steelers were searching for a receiver, and Williams brings a mix of speed, size, and athleticism that's going to give us more firepower on the offensive end. The unexpected twist? The addition of edge rusher Preston Smith from the Green Bay Packers. Smith's veteran presence is a huge win for the Steelers' defense and brings some extra muscle behind stars like T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith. But here's the fun part: Williams and Smith aren't just here to fill gaps. These two players have a unique opportunity to make NFL history by doing something only one player has managed to do before: play in 18 games in a single season. This is thanks to the Steelers' early bye week and the mid-season trade that has both players switching teams and making them eligible for every game from here on out. Now, you might wonder why 18 games is such a big deal. After all, the NFL only switched to a 17-game schedule in 2021, so the chances to hit 18 games have been rare. Currently, only one player in NFL history, Leonard Williams of the Seattle Seahawks, has managed to pull it off. Leonard played 8 games for the Giants last year before being traded, allowing him to hit 18 games in a single season. Mike Williams and Preston Smith now have that same shot at history, assuming they both stay healthy and play every game for the rest of the season. This is no easy feat, and it adds an extra layer of excitement to every game we have ahead of us. Let's talk about what Smith brings to the defense. Known for his durability, Smith has managed to play in 16 or more games in every season of his career. That's impressive, especially when you consider the physical toll on edge rushers in the NFL. Smith's reliability is precisely what we need to strengthen our defensive line. Smith is familiar with the 3-4 defense, which is what the Steelers run. He's had success playing as an outside linebacker, a role that lets him thrive in pass rush situations while dropping back into coverage when needed. So, Steelers Nation, think of Smith as the kind of player who can help us keep offenses guessing, and that's only going to make our defense tougher for opponents to figure out. Plus, with T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith demanding attention from opposing offenses, Smith is set to thrive without the pressure of being the main guy. This setup could lead to some serious sack numbers for Smith, as he'll have the chance to take advantage of one-on-one matchups. Can you imagine him getting a few sacks in critical moments? The energy at Heinz Field is going to be off the charts. Moving over to Mike Williams, he's not a stranger to big plays. Williams has a reputation for being a physical wide receiver who can go up and get the ball. With George Pickens on one side and Williams on the other, the Steelers now have two vertical threats who can stretch the field. Opposing secondaries are going to have a hard time keeping up with both of them. Williams has the ability to create mismatches, especially in the red zone. At 6 feet 4 inches, he's the kind of receiver who can use his size and physicality to win contested catches. This skill set complements Pickens, who is already proving to be a strong deep ball receiver. It's a fresh dimension to our offense, and Kenny Pickett has to be excited about having another big target downfield. And here's something else to consider: the Steelers have been searching for consistency on offense. With Deontay Johnson and George Pickens handling a majority of the targets, Williams' presence gives us a new option and could help ease the pressure on Pickett in critical situations. Williams has big game experience, and as he acclimates to Pittsburgh's playbook, he's going to give us the edge we've been missing. Steelers fans, we know injuries are always a concern, especially for new additions coming off trades. Mike Williams has had a bit of a rough stretch with injuries, missing a significant amount of time over the past couple of years, including an ACL tear in 2023. He'll need to stay healthy to make this historic 18-game run possible, but the Steelers' medical staff will be on top of it, helping him manage his workload and stay fresh down the stretch. On the other hand, Preston Smith has been an Ironman in the league, so he's our best bet to make it through all 9 remaining games without issue. As long as both players remain in peak condition, they'll not only contribute to the team's success but could etch their names in the NFL record books. The Steelers return to the field in Week 10 against the Washington Commanders, and both Smith and Williams are expected to see playing time. The Commanders have a physical front, and it'll be a perfect test to see how quickly Smith adapts to the Steelers' defense. We'll be watching how the coaches work him into the rotation, especially with his experience in the 3-4 setup that Pittsburgh loves. As for Williams, all eyes will be on how he's integrated into the offense. Will he be used primarily as a deep threat, or will we see some creative play calling to exploit his size and athleticism? Either way, Week 10 is shaping up to be an exciting game, with Steelers Nation eager to see how our new additions step up to the challenge. So, Steelers Nation, I want to hear from you. What do you think about these last-minute trades? Do you believe the Cowboys' move with Carolina impacted our chances at Thielen? And what do you think of Tomlin's challenge strategy? Should he adopt a Penguin-style system for better success? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get this conversation started. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We've got plenty more Steelers content coming your way, so stay tuned for all the latest news, updates, and insider takes. Until next time, here's to more wins and one step closer to playoff success. Go Steelers!